Welcome to Logical Labs. I'm Jeff. We're going to start doing some Let's Plays with some classic old school games in a segment that I'm calling Mac and G's, and specifically, will it run on a Mac? I feel like Mac gaming is something that is a bit underappreciated, under-realized, and a lot of people don't realize that you can game on a Mac. I'm using a Mac M4 Mini, and we're going to do a bit of a throwback to an old game that just recently got a reboot, remake, graphical update. We're talking about Cyan World's Myst. If you've never played it, it's a classic. I'm going to try to replay it from memory. It's very much a puzzle game, puzzle adventure. There's no combat and you cannot die. But the puzzles are, for its time and even still today, considered some of the most complicated puzzles that are out there. So I'm going to try to do this off of memory. I remember the first time I beat Myst, which was probably late 90s, early 2000s when I was a kid. I was probably 10 or 11 when I played it for the first time. I had the old school Prima strategy guides. They were actually a physical book that helped you walk through them. That helped me beat it the first time, and I've played it a few other times since, and I've always had to go online and try to remember based on clues and stuff online, walkthroughs and tutorials, but I'm going to try to do this entire playthrough from memory. So step one, we're going to be jumping into Myst. Switch over here. We're going to do a new game. And we're going to see how this goes. We're going to go with 1993. I was 3 years old when this game came out. But we're going to do classic 1993 puzzles. You can, in the newer version, you can randomize them. And I'm not sure I'm prepared for that. So we're going to go regular.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
So the voice you heard in that voiceover is the voice of Rand Miller, one of the two brothers who founded Cyan Labs, Rand and Robin Miller, from Spokane, Washington. Rand plays all the voice acting for the father in this game, Atris, and one of the brothers, I can never remember which one it is, and his actual biological brother, Robin, does the voice acting for the other brother. So it's two brothers. They did all the programming, all of the music. Robin is a composer and producer. He did all of the music. They programmed this self in what was known as HyperCard, which was a version of QuickTime events on an early version of the Apple Macintosh system. But they did all the voice acting themselves, all the filming and live action stuff themselves, and for the time, and on an incredibly shoestring budget, pulled together what is considered one of the greatest games ever. So we begin our journey through the linking book to Myst Island. Loved this game. The aesthetic, the visuals, the sound, it's still one of my favorite soundtracks. So, yeah, for reference, I'm playing this on the newest Mac M4 Mini, while streaming OBS all at the same time, and this is played, I think, on just this, whatever the standard default video settings are, and it looks great, plays very fluidly, no problems at all, so, yeah, it's pretty great water textures and everything like that. Okay, so, the way this game works, we are going to explore the island a little bit. We got gears and we got the tower. Put an observatory if I remember right. Yes. Catherine, I've left a message. I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our forechamber inside the dock. beside the number, or enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Okay, number of marker switches. So if I remember right, these are marker switches. The actual toggling of them doesn't do anything yet, if I remember right. This is a little Easter egg. So in the universe of Myst, there's a series of 3 novels. They're prequels to this game. This is a nod to those books. This was not in the original game that came out in 1993. The books were written after. In this remake, they've added a bit of an Easter egg from an event that happened in the books. I'm not going to spoil that. Highly recommend those books if you've never read them. There's a full ebook collection on Cyan's website. 10 out of 10. Go read those books. Okay, so 4-chamber, if I remember right, is down here. It's this nifty little bunker here. Yeah, which we'll go into in a second, but we need to get the number of marker switches. So we've got 1 here. There's a second one up here, so that's 2. We're gonna run around here. There's a third one here by the observatory, so we're up to 3. Can't remember if there's one over. There's not one over here, so there's just 3 at the moment. There's a 4th one here, 5th one here, 6th one over here by this cabin, and a 7th one on that gear island. So we're up to 7. I believe that's it off the top of my head. So we need to remember that, 7. Run back down here. Open this door. Yeah. So we got this neat holographic imager here. I was gonna say, I don't think this did anything. We'll just turn it on. So yeah, control panel here. Topical extrusion test. Marker switch diagram. This helps you to understand what a marker switch is in a water turbulent pool. So let's go. No 6-7 jumps. Do 7. Nothing happens with 7. Did I miss one, perhaps? Maybe I miscounted. Let's try this. Aha!
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar. But I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. I should have known not to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in the places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access key, remember the tower rotation, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
So that's the father, that's Atris. So let's look and see what the rest of these are. This should be the same thing we already saw, I believe. Or no, it's the geography of the island, that's right. Yeah, that's the only different one. So, actually, I don't think it's the geography of the island at all. Actually, I could be incorrect, but I believe this is the area in New Mexico from the first book. Again, go read it; it's wonderful. But yeah, so to get to the first age that's off this island, or to get to any of the ages off this island, you have to find the linking book. So that same book that we touched the front panel of that brought us here, that's part of how the story works. These people have the ability to travel through space and time to different ages, and they do it via books. Specifically, different kinds of books. We're going to start with the Mechanical Age. Each one of these is a story about how he wrote the age and how you get to it. A lot of really cool science design in each of these. And remember, this is in the 90s. It's a whole thing. So let's see if we can figure out if I can remember how. Oh, let's meet the brothers. They each have their own story to tell. So they are trapped in a book themselves. Their father locked them each in a book, each one corresponding to a color. And part of our mission to understand why comes from collecting these pages. Red for one of them, blue for the other, filling their books so that we can hear their message, because it's all staticky, like this. Let's see.
You must help me. Bring me a red page. I can't see. Need a red page. You must. Please bring me. Beg of you, bring page. Help me.
So, as you progress through each of the ages, you gain pages, and you get to hear them each make their case as to why the other brother is the guilty party for destroying their father's library. See, the books are all burned, and why their father imprisoned them here. You get to hear them each plead their case. So we'll do the same with the other brother.
Serious? Stop. Will. I see you. You must looking up. Help me. Bring me pages. Forever and ever. Pages.
So, yeah, each brother tells you to go bring more pages, and once you get all of them, you get to hear them plead their case, and then that's quite fun. So, Cirrus in the red, Akinar in the blue, sons of Atris and Catherine. So, we need to get to the Mechanical Age. He said, remember the tower rotation, which we will see can be controlled via this nifty dial. There's more to it than this, I remember. I can hear it turning. But we need to open the bookcase and descend into the tower. It's crazy how detailed this looks now in Unreal compared to the other one, the original, which you can still download and play on pretty much any platform. It was very pixelated 1990s graphics, so we've come a long way. So we have an elevator shaft here. I'm trying to remember how we do this. Key here with nothing to know. We can climb up here. There's nothing special here. Okay, so let's go down. Okay, remember the tower rotation. So, yes. Safety first. All of our science fiction-y futuristic ages must be OSHA compliant. Don't forget that. If you find yourself building worlds, make sure elevators don't work until you close the safety doors. Alright, if I remember right... yes, we cannot leave. That's so cool. I want to build one of those. Alright, if I remember right... The gear on the front of the book for Mechanical Age represents that the book is hidden in here. If I remember right, if I toggle that, that's what the marker switches do. They toggle and they show up on the map inside the library, as I recall. Aha! See? We now have a gear icon. So what we then do is align that. Hear the tower move. Okay. What? Oh. Stop. We'll roll into here, and then I think we go back up, if I remember right. Shut the door. Yes. 240, 221. What does that mean? That is the time, and that is a number sequence. I remember how this works. Okay, so remember the time. The time is important. 221 is going to be a sequence for a puzzle, hence the key. The key, we're trying to do this that way. I don't think there's anything up here other than just being able to look out and you can see. Yeah, this is how you visually identify that you've got the correct location. Ta-da! Okay, cool. All right, 240, 221. You know what? Just for my own gratification, because my memory is not what it used to be, we're just going to take a photo of that for reference. Okay. And let's go. All right. So, we have a time and we have a... Oops. Curses. We have a time and we have a puzzle key. So, time. What tells time? Ding dong. All right. So, clock. Let us. The time was 2:40. So that is 2. Perfect. Everything is gears. Everything is slightly steampunk-esque. There's the tower we were up in. All that fun stuff. All right, so we open this up. Ah, yes. Okay. I remember this puzzle. So, this, to me, was always one of the most infuriating puzzles in this entire game because the logic of it is exceedingly frustrated. So, 221. Note the numbers on the cogs in the middle. That is the number we are trying to get. 2, 2, 1. So, 2 gears, or two levers for 2 sets of gears that rotate this. and a third gear off to the right. So, okay. We push once. Rotates the bottom two. We do this. Rotates the top two. So, we have to figure out the correct sequence. You get a limited number of tries, and then it seizes, and you have to pull the one on the right, and it resets the whole thing once the counterweight drops. So, I'm trying to remember. There is a trick to this. I'm trying to remember what it is. I believe you hold one. No, maybe it's this one. There it is. You hold it, and it free spins the middle gear. For some reason, I mentally had it pictured as being the left gear in my mind from back in the day, but again, memories aren't quite what they used to be. So, we now have open gear here. What does that look like? That looks like our nifty gear over there, which is now open. So that is the entrance to the mechanical age. There are multiple ages. There's Salentic age, which is access through that spaceship. There's Channel Wood, which is accessed through this tree. And then there is Stone Ship, which is accessed through the pirate ship. That we have to raise down there. And then there's a bonus age that came out after the game was originally released back in the 90s. They released a bonus age called Rhyme, and you access that. There's a hidden passage here that you can enter after you do all the other ages, after you complete the game. So that's a bonus walkthrough you get to do later. But let's go jump into Mechanical Age. So, in the same way the linking book at the beginning brought us to Myst Island, which is the hub for the games, this is one of the spokes off that hub. This leads us to Mechanical. You touch the image. According to the lore, you touch the page and it pulls you in and delivers you to that world. Hello, I'm zoomed. So, here we are. So, we are now technically stuck here. It's a one-way trip. You need to return linking book back to Myst Island. So our entire goal here is to locate, find the two pages, the red and blue page for Sirius and Akinar, and find a way to return to Myst to go complete the next ages. So, what we have here, this is probably, I think, I'm not going to say it's boring, that's not correct, but this is thematically the most like Myst Island. It's laid out very similarly. But there's a lot of lore to this game. It was built by Sirius and Akinar with their father when they were young. So that's why it looks a lot like Myst Island, because they're, timeline-wise, they're very similar. This was their attempt to just have another point and do some seafaring. There's a whole graphic novel, single-issue graphic novel called The Curse of the Black Fleet, or something of the Black Ships. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that deals with pirates in this area. This is very much very much a seafaring area, and this was an outpost that they built in this age. Clearly leaking a little bit. I actually don't remember that in the original. That's actually a really cool detail that they added. So, but this is also, as they got older, the brothers ended up using this as a bit of a hideaway. This is supposed to be one of them. I can never remember which one is which. A lot of classical architecture, or neoclassical architecture, I guess. Alright, so that's the room for one brother, and there's another brother over here. Slightly more sinister in nature. Because everybody has a box of snakes. Note it's a remake of the very building that we're in. So we'll explore a little bit here. I remember there is... Yeah. So yeah, each brother has their own little hidey hole here. Someone clearly favors the drink and the all of the golds. The symbols will make sense in the sequel. Riven also got a remake. Cirrus, your greed sickens me. Your desire for wealth and plunder is never satisfied. I will instruct my subjects not to pay your new tax, and you know they'll listen to me. Regards, Akinar. Akinar is the blue book. Cirrus the red. So, very fun. And wouldn't you know it? One of our red pages. Excellent. So, we have 1/3 of our mission here complete. We need to find a blue page, and then we need to find how to get to the Myst linking book. So, if one brother has a secret passageway, note the elevator. That'll be important later. If one brother has a secret passageway, might stand to reason the other one probably does as well. That's not creepy at all. Did you pay your taxes? You probably didn't pay your taxes. That's probably why. And there is our blue page. Along with poisons. More poisons. Oh, look! Knives! And more poisons. It's not ominous at all. These brothers weren't sadistic in any particular way. Wonder what happened here. Best to not ask. So, it's a very convenient head-shaped hole there. Not great. So, alright, so we have the pages. Now we need to figure out how to get the Myst linking book to get out of here. So, I gotta remember how to do this. I know where the book is. Spoilers. It's in here. This door retracts, and there's a little room containing the book. We need to get the right combination of these shapes to get it, which each one of these, I believe, is found on each of the spokes of the outpost. It turns like a clock. I gotta remember how to move this thing. I don't know if if I'll be able to do this all today. Running a little low on time, but we'll see if we can get this quickly. Let's do it quick. Button will work. What about this button? Ah! Because everybody needs a secret elevator or secret stairwell. Interesting. Inner ring at 10 o'clock, outer ring at opening at 6 o'clock. So if we... I don't remember what this does. Ah, that's right. It unlocks the elevator. Thank you. Remember, OSHA compliance. It's important. Interesting. Ah, yes, if I remember right. These control the tower rotation. So that bottom area that had the ramp, that controls your ability to get to the elevator. This is what actually controls the tower rotation. And I think... Okay, I vaguely remember there being something about sound. I don't know if the recording picked this up, but there was a hiss. There's like a hiss and a donk and a ding. There's a various sound effects that help you learn the alignment. Because if I remember right, this thing teaches, yeah, it's a simulator. This teaches you which one does what. But let's go look and see real quick which way I'm facing since we rotated. Aha! This is not our starting point. Our starting point was on the other side. We have gone 180 degrees. And we will note these shapes, which I am going to capture for posterity. Because goodness knows I may not be able to figure out how to get back over here again. This is not easy. Alright, let's go back. Even with nobody in it, still OSHA compliant. Bravo. Bravo, homicidal twins. Okay. So. That was the same. Clink. Don't remember turning the subtitles on, but that's a helpful way. That helps you identify the spokes. Let's see. got here. This is the exact same one. Okay, so we didn't go anywhere. Let's go move to another one. Actually, that is going to be all the time I have for today. We will have to finish this in the next episode. So, we have two shapes. We need the other two, which are on the eastern spoke. Yeah. So we started at the bottom. We went to one all the way across on the top, 180 degrees north. We need to go to the one... I guess depending on how you do it. If that's 180 degrees, that's 270 degrees. Something like that. Yeah. We just need to get to the other island. And we'll figure that out. So we're going to save this. Yeah, I did do it. Yeah, I did this last year. I played through it a little bit. So yeah, we are operating mostly off of memory. But yeah, great game. So yeah. Thanks for watching along. Part 2 will hopefully be out in the next couple of days. We'll keep going. We'll walk through this entire thing and beat it. So thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next video.